Wake Up C Bus is on the air early at 4 a.m. this Friday for a weather alert. From rain to ice and snow. Look at this. The flash freeze crept in overnight while you were sleeping. That winter weather blanketing central Ohio this morning. Several of our eastern counties are under snow emergencies, and you can see many of them here as well in central Ohio, including Franklin, Delaware, Union County. All those in yellow are under a level 1. Pickaway County, the one in orange, you can see that is under a level 2 snow emergency, so only drive if necessary. We are updating this map as some of these snow emergencies come in, and you can see all of that scrolling at the bottom of your screen. It has been a busy several hours here at 10 TV. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of Wake Up C Bus at 4 a.m. I'm Angela Ann. Tracy is off. We do have team coverage right now of this weather alert. Tina Ramos is in Delaware County. Lacey Crisp, along with our photographer, Tim Flaherty, they are driving around Franklin County. And we, of course, have Gabby Garcia and Maddie Kirker in the studio with me today, talking about what's happening in the traffic center and the weather department. So let's start there with Maddie right now, because you predicted this, and here it is. But boy, woke up this morning and said, wow, what happened?
Right, you know, here it is. We've been talking about this since Monday, believe it or not. And yes, we did have rain last night, switched right over to snow. And that is what you're seeing blanketing the state of Ohio out there this morning. We do have some heavy snowfall still coming down in downtown Columbus. That includes locations like Circleville, Chillicothe, London, Delaware, Marysville. And we're just going to watch as these snowfall totals continue to climb as we go through the rest of this morning. Now, a little bit closer for you. As you can see, especially across the metro of Columbus, we've got some heavy snowfall right now. This band of heavy snow basically moving from west to east, and we do anticipate this snow to stick around at least for the next several hours, not to mention that that wind is increasing. So the snow that falls this morning will lead to blowing snow as we progress through the morning. So here's a look at our hour by hour forecast. This is as we go through about 5 a.m. The heaviest of the snowfall still in our area, but making its way towards the east. You can see out towards Newark, Zanesville, New Lexington. Also, can you see these numbers here? Temperatures will be dropping to the single digits as we go through later on this morning, and that snow continues to creep on off to the north, becoming a little bit more less as we go through the later part of this morning. How about the wind chill forecast? This is a look at what it's going to feel like outside at 9 a.m. Don't even worry about dealing with the snow out there today, because it's going to be so dangerously cold too. We're looking at feeling more like negative 28 by 9 a.m., negative 23 by 5 p.m., and this extreme cold will continue as we head into our Saturday. This is a look at our forecast today. You would think we live in the North Pole, but no, we're right here in central Ohio. It is going to be dangerously cold out there for the next few hours, all the way through the rest of the day today. You can see 5 degrees, but we're falling this morning, dropping down to about -3 as we go through about 10 o'clock. I do think we'll climb up to maybe 3 degrees by later on today, but we will have that wind howling 40 to 50 miles per hour as the snow will be coming to an end for this morning. So even with the snow ending, we are not done with this winter storm. We will have more of this forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Angela?
All right, Maddie, thank you. We do have some breaking news right now on the highway. We are getting reports of several jackknife semi-trucks. This is one that one of our crews just drove by this morning, and you can see right there off to the side, a lot of police activity. Let's get over to Gabby Garcia right now, where we are mapping this out.
Yeah, good morning. Thankfully, on the west side there, that jackknife semi completely cleared. I literally just got off the phone with CPD just a couple of minutes ago, but not clear is another situation on the different end of Franklin County here. This is on the south side of Franklin County. Deputies from the sheriff's office here on the scene where this ramp is closed. High Street northbound to get eastbound on 270. That is shut down. A vehicle is stuck there, like I anticipate more vehicles being stuck throughout the morning. So what you want to do instead, if you have to be on the roadway, you need to get northbound on High Street to get on the outer belt, go westbound on 270 instead. Use I-71 to flip you around and get you back eastbound on I-270 if that's where you need to go on the south side today. Taking a look there on the south side, I pulled up that camera where that scene is. Barely anything visible. All you can see are lights this morning, and you see those flashing lights probably from emergency crews and or a snow plow this morning. And speaking of snow plows, There are about 200 of those ODOT crews out there right now. I just saw a tweet from ODOT this morning. They say they've got 200 crews, and you see why. Take a look at I-71 at Gemini Place, completely, basically blanketed in snow there near the Polaris Mall there on the north side. 315 at Lane Avenue near campus, also very heavily snow covered, and you see that snow blowing, making visibility difficult for you guys. I'd stay home if you can work from home today.
Absolutely, Gabby. Certainly not a fun Friday. We're just getting word as well. Fayette County now under a level 2 snow emergency. So certainly those conditions are changing out there. Lacey Crisp is joining us here on Wake Up CBUS this morning. She's witnessing some of those conditions changing there in Franklin County. Lacey, you're driving around with our photographer Tim Flaherty behind the wheel. Give us a sense of what it feels like right now for anyone who's about to head out.
Well, good early morning, Angela. We're in Hilliard. We're right on Cemetery Road. We're about to go over 270. We're following Hilliard tandem clouds. They said they've been out since about 11 o'clock last night, trying to keep the roads as clear as possible. We drove by that Jackknife 70. It was on 70 eastbound, just east of Hilliard Road. That obviously blocked up that traffic and the freeway there for quite some time. But as Gabby had mentioned, it has cleared. But that just gives you an idea about how the road conditions are to see that semi-jackknife like that. Now, we have seen a couple of cars in the ditch along the interstates as we've been driving around. Obviously, as you can take a look at some of this video, you can see the slick spots on the road. So there's clearly ice underneath the snow when you're driving. So just be aware that even though the plows are out and they've been trying to keep up with salting the roads as much as possible, there is still ice underneath the snow. But the issue really isn't the snow that's fallen so much as the wind. And you can see it in following these plows. The gusts are blowing the snow right back after the plows that try to clear the roads. And we've seen a lot of crews out. They're trying their best to try to keep up with the current conditions. But what happens is they'll go by it, they'll clear the road, and, 20 seconds later, the snow is blown right back into that spot. So, it's really tough for these crews. They're out here. They're trying their best to make sure the roads are as clear as possible. And like I said, it's not the accumulation, but it's the wind, it's the gust. It's blowing the snow right back into place. So that's a live look at what the road conditions are like. Back to you, Angie.
All right, Lacey, definitely great perspective there for us. Thank you. Let's give you another view here because we have Tino Ramos is in Delaware County for us with a good look at US 23. Tino, you are holding on to that hat.
Tell you, it's really windy out here. The feel-like temperature at this point is negative 15 degrees here because these gusts of the winds. You probably just saw that light behind me. That was an ODOT truck here trying to hit Route 23 here. We're just a little south of downtown Delaware, but as Lacey had mentioned, the snow is packed on top of what is probably ice down there. But let me take you up to the lights there as well. It's just a cloud of blowing snow. That is limiting visibility to about a quarter mile at the very most. Let me take you into Delaware. Downtown Delaware, we hit up a little bit earlier this morning. This was probably just around 1 o'clock. Already the snow was on the ground. It was the changeover coming up at that point. Some of the plows were already just trying to hit the streets up, which really was a difficult time here. But now that the winds have picked up, that's what's making it even worse in terms of traveling around, and especially for those high-profile vehicles. I want to bring you back here, too, if I can, live, because the thing about this, even though we didn't get a ton of snow, even though it's snowing still right now, it's the blowing and drifting that we're dealing with here. And look at that, probably only got about an inch, maybe an inch and a half, but already I'm probably going down about 6 inches in this drift that we have right here. Nothing major, but be very careful as you're heading out there because this blowing and drifting, and especially the bitter cold, really bites you. So stay in if you can. Obviously, we're going to say that to you all morning long. We'll have more throughout the morning. In Delaware County, Tino Ramos, 10 TV News.
All right, Tino, thank you. We really appreciate you standing out there in those weather elements to show people what it's like out there. So let's get back to Maddie Kirker right now because, Maddie, we are certainly looking at treacherous conditions out there as the system continues to kind of develop here this morning.
You got to feel for Tino right now because, yes, just like he was mentioning, those wind chills currently are extremely dangerous already, and it's only going to get colder as the day progresses. Yeah, it's only going to get colder. This is what it feels like outside right now this morning. -15 in Columbus, -23 in London, -19 in Marion, Newark, -14. Some of the warmer spots that have yet to see this cold blast just yet, we're still holding on to 5 in McConnellsville and Coshocton at 14, but it's headed in your direction as well. Let's get another look here at the satellite and radar picture. All of that blue on your screen is snowfall, and we do have another burst of heavy snow that is moving into downtown Columbus right now. As we zoom in closer, you can see right around the metro area from Gahanna to Hilliard to Dublin to Powell, Westerville, Grove City. We're seeing that heavy snowfall continuing to move in from west to east, so we'll get more additional snowfall on top of what else is already out there right now. Let's slide to the north. You can see up towards Marion, we're seeing some heavy snowfall as well. Marysville, Bellefontaine, Kenton, seeing some that heavy snowfall, and that band of snow in Delaware that's currently sitting there, actually making its way towards Newark and Mount Vernon here as we head through the next 15 minutes. Let's also slide down with our friends here to the south and east. You can see from Laurel to Lancaster, Circleville, Chillicothe, just getting down with some bursts of heavy snowfall. Nelsonville, also down towards Athens, also seeing some of that heavier snow. Now, the snow will continue for the next couple of hours. It is not going to snow all day. As we wind the view here, you can see the rain moving through Pittsburgh. This end of the snow actually coming to an end down towards Cincinnati. So as the snow does come to an end later this morning, we will still deal with it though, because we've got these very cold conditions. So the snow is not going to be melting, and it will just be blowing around as well with those winds increasing. We've got more of your forecast coming up with another check of the snowfall in your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.